Hello and welcome to another ServiceTitan tutorial. I'm Marcelo. Today, I'm going to show you how to set up and use the Turns Financing option in ServiceTitan. We'll cover how to set up Turns Financing in ServiceTitan Office, how to help your customer through the loan process, and how to charge a transaction using the Turns Finance option inside the ServiceTitan mobile app. This tutorial is mainly focused on ServiceTitan administrators, tech managers, and accountants. Before we get started, there is some basic information you should be aware of. First, Turns Financing is available only through the Mobile 2.0 app. Make sure you are at least on version 2.0. Second, customers will get a loan decision within seconds, but you must have an internet connection on the mobile device enabled for this to work. Finally, once the customer is approved, they can use the Turns card immediately. So let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is set up Turns in ServiceTitan Office. You need to make sure you have access to the settings in ServiceTitan. What we're going to do is we're going to go to your profile picture at the top right hand corner. Then we're going to scroll down to Settings. And then under Settings, the first thing we need to look for is Business Units, which is located under Operations. Now for each business unit you may have multiple, many more than these. You click on the edit or the pencil icon. Once you're in there, you'll go into Financing, and then under Financing Provider Turns, you'll click on the Contractor ID field and type in your contractor ID in there. And you will have to do this for every single business unit you have. Once you've entered the contractor ID, you click on Save, and you are set. Next up, we need to enable Turns in the mobile section, and you will find that under Integrations, Mobile. Once you click on Mobile, you will go down to the Data Access options. You will find a checkbox labeled Turns. All you need to do is make sure that's checked. Then you'll click on Save. Once you've done that, you've done everything you need to do on the Office side to make sure that Turns is enabled on the mobile side. In the previous lesson, you've learned how to set up the Turns Financing options in the ServiceTitan Office settings. Those settings need to be downloaded to the app. Here we are in the ServiceTitan mobile app, and the first thing you want your technicians to do is to refresh the app. So you click on the refresh button at the top right hand corner and you say download Pricebook. Not only will this download the latest Pricebook, but it'll also download any new updates to the settings that you've done in the ServiceTitan Office. So we definitely recommend that your technicians do a refresh, not only for this, but that they do a refresh on a daily basis to make sure they have the latest. Once they've done that, here we are. We have Adam, which is the technician working this job. We're going to go ahead and go into the job, and then we're going to pretend that he's pretty much done with the job and the customer's ready to pay. I'm not going through every single step here. This is just to show you how the customer can get into the pay functionality and apply for the loan. So we're going to go ahead and click on Pay. Now you'll notice at the top right hand corner, you'll see Apply for Financing. You'll want to go ahead and click on that, and then you'll want to go ahead and click on Apply Now under Turns. Once you've done that, you're going to take the iPad and give it to your customer. Your customer will take over from this point on and fill out the necessary information. One thing to notice is that there are fields that are already pre-filled by ServiceTitan. For example, the email, the phone number, the first name, the last name, the street address, the city, the state, and the zip code all come directly from the ServiceTitan app. What the customer needs to fill out is their date of birth, their social security number, and their gross annual income. So let's go ahead and fill this out. We'll go ahead and click on the date of birth field, and then we'll select a different year, which you do by clicking on the year menu item here. And then we can go ahead and scroll up until we find the year that this customer was born, and we'll go ahead and pretend that the year was 1992, and we'll select August, and we'll say 1st. For the social security number, I'm going to go ahead and enter a fake social security number, of course. Notice that I didn't have to enter any dashes. It was automatically placed for me. For the gross annual income, we'll go ahead and put $65,000. Also, I didn't have to add the $ or a comma. It's automatically placed there for me. Now we'll go ahead and click on Continue. At this point, your customer has to consent to 3 electronic disclosures by reading them and clicking on the checkbox next to each. And then we'll go ahead and click on Submit. The mobile app will then communicate with Churns to get an answer for this application. The key here is that the mobile app has to have internet connection. Without internet connection, you will not be able to do this. Once it comes back, you will either get an approval, a rejected, or a declined answer. Here, it came back as approved. At this point, your customer will have to select between two offers. The first offer is with an interest period that is not deferred, as you can see here. The second offer is with an interest period that is deferred for 6 months. Once the customer selects one of the offers, they can click on Submit. At this point, they just need to read the offer they selected, click on the checkbox, which means they are agreeing to the credit agreement. If they want to read the credit agreement, they can click on this link, which brings up this PDF. Once they read it, they can click on the X to close the window. Now they can click on Exit to finish the application and proceed to recording the payment. And that brings it back to the pay location. And now what I want to show you is how your customer can cancel the application process if they change their mind. So we'll start again with Apply for Financing. I'll go ahead and click on Apply for Financing button. We'll click on the Turns button. And then let's pretend at this point your customer says, no, I changed my mind. We're going to pay with credit card. All you have to do is go where the 3 dots are, click on that, and click on Exit. And that will bring you back to the Choose Payment Type screen. Finally, I'd like to show you the 2 other responses you may get once your client hits the Submit button on the application. The first one is a decline. Your customer may be declined when requirements are not met to receive an approval, such as low credit score. The second is a reject. Your customer may be rejected when the minimum requirements to submit an application are not met, such as age, base income, etc. Now that we are done applying for the loan and the customer was approved, you're going to end up at the Choose Payment Type screen. What you can do is you can select that, and then you'll see at the bottom Churns Financing. From this point on, it's going to be the normal way that you charge your customer. And just to show you how I got there again, we'll go back to Dashboard here. We'll go View Current Job, Invoice. We'll click on Pay. Last time we did Apply for Financing. This time we're just going to say Choose Payment Type and Churns Financing. And then you just enter the amount that the customer's paying and you click on Charge. That's it. You made it through the entire tutorial. Congratulations. You've learned how to set up Churns Financing in ServiceTitan Office, how to help your customer through the loan process, and how to charge a transaction using the Churns Finance option inside the ServiceTitan mobile app. I hope you found this tutorial to be informative. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please don't hesitate to contact us. You can send an email to support@servicetitan.com. Until the next tutorial, I'm Marcelo. Cheers, everyone.